Good morning, welcome to C2 Precision. Today we have something rather special. This is the Spuhr Ideal Chassis System. I believe this is the first one in the UK, and a special thanks to Spuhr who has sent this one over for us to have a look at. We're going to be stocking these in the shop, and this is a bit of an unboxing video. Have a look at what we've got. So what we've got here in the box, a little box as it comes, well packaged. This here looks, this is, I heard about this. This is a little mount, it's an Arca mount. It looks like a quick release Arca mount. Let me bring it in here for you to see. Quick release Arca mount that goes on the underside of the chassis. It's Arca to Arca, quite a low profile system. And it's got a quick release bracket here that you just push, and you push it to engage up and down in the forend for really quick movement of whatever bipod system or bag you are using. So that looks quite cool. Have a look at that in a minute. Put that to one side. So all nicely packaged here. We've got, this looks to be the main body of the chassis. It's locked at the minute. Let me try and figure out how to move it. Oh, there we go. Right, so what we've got here is a little plug, like a little pluggy bit there that clips inside the front of the mag well there to lock it when it's stowed in its 90-degree position. That's nice, I like that. And then the locking up mechanism there. That's really rigid, nice. Nice limb saver buttstock pad on the rear. First impressions, machining looks to be beautiful. Really nice bit of machining on there. Yeah, that's nice. And, oh, there we go. That's one feature of this chassis, is the quick release or quick adjustable length of pull. So for instance, if you do a lot of positional shooting and you have a close length of pull for your positional shooting off barricades and props, if you then want to jump down into a prone position, when you're in the prone position like this, you actually need a lot longer, well, not a lot longer, but it's advantageous to have a couple more inches available in the prone position. So if you're doing a few positions on a barricade and then you drop down to a prone on a bipod, you can quickly adjust like that, drop down, and you've got the correct length of pull for being in your prone position. It's got little numbers, 1, 2, 3, and it comes all the way out to 5. So that actually gives you, looking at it, about 2 1/4, yeah, I'm going to say about 2 1/4 inches to 2.5 inches of adjustment on the length of pull. Nice bag rider there. A Spuhr unique pistol grip. It looks like an AR type pistol grip here. So it looks like you could change that if you wanted to. That's nice. Right, put that there. Let's have a look in here. This is probably the forend. Oh, heavy forend. Let's put the box to one side. That's very, oh, it's fully loaded. So here we have the forend, and it's fully loaded with internal weights and external weights. Bring it over so you can have a look. So here are the external weights. What I really like there is you've got lots of indents in the top of the external weights for you to put your thumb on for reference points when you're on a bag up on a barricade. That's different, I like that. Right, so the quick release Arca clamp goes on the underside of the rail here. Oh, that is solid. So if you have a look on the underside of the chassis here, on the forend, there's little divots where the ball bearing system unlocks and then locks, like that. And that is not going anywhere. That is solid. So you can quite quickly adjust right up and down your forend and completely take off. Yeah, that's a nice system, I like that. And then all your internal weights are on the inside of your forend there, and they run the full length of the forend. Nice smooth bridge across the top. Yeah, I like that. So that has got 3 bolts that line up there like that. Need to dig them out of the box in a minute. So I'm going to bring the camera over, put the bolts together, and show you how we install it together. Be back in a minute. Right, so I did realise, because the forend is a complete one-piece system without an NV, like a removable night vision bridge or anything like that, you've actually got to fit the barreled action into the chassis before you put the forend on. So I'm going to do that for you. The action screw at the back is captive. That stays in the chassis as it's just underneath the pistol grip. And this one here comes in the bag. So that one you can drop in, oh, butterfingers. That one you can drop into there. I'll just grab an Allen key, 2 seconds. And I'm back. So just do that one loosely there. So when you're installing your barreled action into your stock of choice, loosely fit the bolts, and just before you tighten them up, make sure you give the action a little tap. Right, so it's just about to tighten up, so I'm going to loosen that, and then you just want it to drop down so it's nice and tight against the recoil lug. So then under recoil it doesn't move rearward. So I'm not going to torque them up properly as this barreled action isn't staying in there. Right, that's squished up. So then, once you've got your barreled action in, then you can install your forend. So it's a rather large forend gap. So you've got room for a really heavy contour barrel if you desire. Most of us that are running PRS rigs or long distance shooting rigs are going to want a heavy contour barrel with this sort of chassis. Or you can just stick your standard hunting rig into the chassis if that's what gets you excited. You want something really sexy, you want to upgrade your current rifle, you can just stick it straight into here. So I'm just going to do these 3 up loosely, just putting these 3 in here. It's a clear hole in the forend itself, and then you've got a threaded, 3 threaded holes that are part of the main body. So they screw in that. Really simple system actually, but really rigid. Let's do these up with a torque. All the torque values will be in the fitting instructions and assembly instructions. So as it's made from Spuhr, you can tell by the design of it that a lot of thought has gone into it. It's got a lot of the pre-tapped holes that you see on the Spuhr mount for fitting Picatinny rails, and then any accessories that you want to put onto the chassis system works exactly like it does on the Spuhr mounts. So that is the chassis together, and that is the quick release archer. So that works really well. I like that. That's one of my favourite features actually. You can bring it all the way back. So for one stage you might have a stage where you're laying down prone, or you've got a lot of room to have a long distance between a rear bag and your front bipod, but then you might transition and jump on a cable reel or something that you want to use your bipod on, but you need your bipod to be a lot closer. So you can shoot your stage there like that, drop it in, and then your bipod comes straight down there if you're shooting on something small. That's a really good feature. So this here is a standard HMR barreled action, and that balances up probably almost perfectly. So with a heavier contour barrel, you're just going to add a little bit more weight out here at the front. But by how it sits at the minute, a heavier contour barrel isn't going to change it much from that balance point. So that is really nice. Let's have a little play and see how it feels. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Where your trigger finger comes up when you're starting a stage, 9 times out of 10 I put it on my shoulder here, so it's not a lot of weight to hold. And then when the RO says shooter ready, I'm good to go from this position. You've got a nice little groove in the magwell here where your finger goes. Helps you get a good purchase on it. Obviously your bolt will be to the rear, so you can see that there, so that fits nicely. Let's have a little play. So the way this has been designed, look, it's actually the rear stock is cut out to fold around this side, but conveniently it gives you a perfect place for a vertical thumbs up position. You could go thumbs down the side or thumb up. That works really well actually. Thumb up is just straight in line with the recoil path directly behind the action. Yeah, that's quite nice, I like that. You've got adjustable cheek height here for your position. Just lock that off with a little turn lug there. That's not got grooves or anything, so it literally is to the millimetre. You set it to where you want it, lock it off nice and tight. You've also got adjustable, there we go, look, adjustable height of the butt pad. That is into grooves. You have got little notches on there, so it can either be down there in the lowest position, up by about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, and then up again, and that is the highest position. So you've got 3 positions for your butt pad to choose from, and then you've got your length of pull to choose from as well. Yeah, first impressions are very nice. Well done, Hakan and the team. I like it. So this is really just an unboxing video. I'm going to be taking it out and giving it a little play in the field, as Hakan's given me permission. Just go out and have a little play and see what I think of it. It's nice to have first-hand experience on the products that we sell here at C2 Precision. And this one, I would say, certainly stacks up with the best of them. Well done, team. Nice chassis.